I don't know, Kev. I mean, I think it's all right. All right, let's wrap up. Let's go. Let's wrap up. I think
Sure.
we're okay. I hope so. All right. It says stop and start again. Okay. So yeah, that's where we are. All right, Kev. So let's join in portrait. Okay, I think we're good. Heads up. Okay, good. Just want to make sure that I have
You want
this.
to
All right.
run through all that again?
Yeah, I mean, Kev. I mean,
The
this
whole
is it
cast?
says it. I don't. I
You can
mean, I
run
don't
through
know, Kev.
super
I mean,
fast.
what do you mean run through? What do you want me to do?
I'm saying,
You
do you
tell
want
me.
us to do the whole thing over?
No, I want to. No. It's two recordings. I think we're good, Kev. Let's continue. I think we're good. I got it. Don't worry. I
Let me,
think we're
let
good.
me, if, listen,
No,
if
we're
you
good.
lose my end, you still have yours though, right?
Yeah, but I think we're good, Kev. Let's move on. I really think we're good. I did exactly what it said. Stop the recording, start again, and I know where I did it. So I'll just cut it up. Don't worry. I think we're good. Let's continue. So you were
All
saying
right.
before you got cut off.
All
Let's
right.
continue. Come on.
So we were talking about intelligent space,
Yeah.
and
How like you said, intelligence is really stealing secrets. That's what it is. That's what it comes down to.
it's information secrets, and but what I wanted, disinformation. You see a lot of that. But
Blackmail.
what I
Blackmail.
wanted to say
Blackmail.
is, in this day and age, you have to bat 1,000, and you have to be
Mm.
right every single time because all you if
Every
you
time.
oh, every time because all they have to be is right once. If they don't have it, they'll make it up. But that's just the way it
Yeah,
is in this day and age. Now,
I know.
another thing is the golden age with social
Mm-hmm.
media, with in
Mm-hmm.
terms of volume, in terms of gathering intelligence. It's faster, it's cheaper, it's quicker. You got these
Mm-hmm.
troll farms.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably
Oh yeah.
you mentioned that text that went out to people. It's probably a
Yeah.
troll farm, and the willingness.
Report to the next plantation. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
the basically professional peddler of lies you have, and it's more prevalent
Report to the
today.
next Kev,
The
report to the next plantation. Yeah.
Yeah. So the old days of like the Claddenstein. So check out
Yeah.
this website, Bellingcat. It's
Okay.
an open source website of
What's it called?
Bellingcat, Belling cat. I believe that's how it's spelled.
Okay.
See if it
The
comes
home
up.
of online investigations, Kev. Holy shit. I
So
didn't even hear about it.
so
Oh my
so
God, Kev.
so
What's this?
basically, it's just what it
Wow.
is
Ukraine.
is it's just open source information where people just upload open source, and the difference is than Google is it's not filtered.
Uh-huh.
So it's just people uploading different. It's open source, right? So Google
Yeah.
monitors everything through them. So things like that are the future. Now they focus mostly on like geopolitical stuff and everything, but it's interesting, um, and I think it's grown in popularity. And
Kev, I like this. Kev, I mean, I
yeah,
like this.
cool.
This is look at this. Bellingcat is an independent investigative collective of researchers, investigators, and citizen journalists brought together by
Yeah,
the passion of open source research. Wow,
yeah.
wow,
So
man,
open
this is
source.
cool.
It's the new day and age, and that's the
Yeah,
future of intelligence. And what these
yeah,
companies are doing are,
wow.
whether it's business intelligence or whether it's something else, what they're doing is they're trying to find ways to use this new form and provide value for clients, margin, whether it's clients or individuals, by using the golden age, which is technology, and it overlaps. So that's sort of what you're seeing, and this is from
Wow.
someone in the space that mentioned it. Um, so
Netherlands-based investigative journalism group, Open Source Intelligence, OSINT. Kev, look at that. Wow.
yeah.
You know,
So they're
this is
looking
so
at.
you're saying this is the new. So you're saying this is the new market? Is that what you're saying?
I'm
This is like the yeah. This is
No,
probably
I'm
right.
saying that that's a tool that I think is used, but I'm saying is intelligence in terms of the Stalin days of
Mm-hmm.
disinformation. They're probably boots on the ground. That's sort of the old era. The new era is open source technology. A lot of these firms are or these intelligence companies are using. is online, and it's faster, it's cheaper, it's probably more efficient. So it's just a different age where technology meets sort of intelligence.
So
And
this is where it's done. You don't have to go there
I think
directly.
I
This is where it's done, right?
I think
Yeah,
that's
this
a
is where
tool.
the.
That's one of the tools that's become popular. In terms of anything else,
Mm-hmm.
we talked about cancer culture. I think the whole thing we talked
Yep.
about is freedom, right? Freedom to express, freedom of
Mm-hmm.
privacy. Um, I seen something. It was on the Joe Rogan podcast. It was a lawyer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
he was talking about the Hoover days, where Hoover was president, and I'm bringing it
Who?
up now
Yeah.
because it's prevalent, and we'll talk about it after. But people are talking about whether the government groups should be kept or not. So Hoover ran a program called
Mm-hmm.
COINTEL, right? And
No, no,
basically,
no. Who? No. Well, no, not President Hoover. J. Edgar Hoover, the director of the
President
FBI,
FBI,
is what you
yeah,
mean.
yeah, yes, yeah,
That's
yeah,
who, man. Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah.
Right, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah, yeah. Cointel.
let me just run
Cointel is
through it. Let me
filthy,
just
Kev.
go. Yeah,
Cointel's a filthy.
let me just run through
Yeah,
it, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then you
Yeah,
and you
talk
add.
about it.
So
I have it
basically,
up here. Yep.
all right. So I want you to look up the reincarnation. Google reincarnation of COINTEL.
Mm-hmm.
Um, COINTEL Pro
Mm.
with cops. Just pull it up. Google. It was an article, and this is what he talked about. So basically, yeah, Hoover that ran the FBI. They were looking to break up uh, the civil rights movement and people against war.
Yep.
And to do that,
Yep. Right here.
they started disinformation campaigns against these groups and pin them up against each other and would try to get them, sort of, in ploys and spread rumors about them. And a lot of these tactics were used by other countries that they picked up from, like Stalin or whatever. They applied it,
By the way, Kev,
and
this is the only article. Pulls up and keep going right here. The reincarnation. Yeah,
yeah. So pull it up.
the only
So,
article.
so
This
all
is
right.
the
So
only
let
article.
me,
So,
yeah, yeah. So that's probably it.
yeah.
But let me finish. So they put this together to try to break up the civil rights movement, Martin Luther King, and all this. And it was very secretive. Nobody knew about it. They kept it under wraps. Later on in the 70s, and this was, I think, the late 50s, 60s, um, maybe a little bit before then, but later on, it was discovered. Someone like broke into their headquarters, and the documents got out. It was discovered what they were doing, and then it got shut down,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
It was
Well, that's
very
what they say, but yeah,
controversial. It was very, yeah,
yeah,
that's what they say, and that's what this article talks about. So very controversial because they were violating people's privacy and rights. Now,
hard. Yeah.
yeah, so you didn't hear much from it, but basically, disinformation and spreading
Yeah,
rumors
it
and
was a church.
trying to watch people.
It was the in
So,
1975
uh,
Senator Frank Church. Yep,
yeah, so
he brought it up.
so then you didn't hear much from it. Now, what this article
Nope.
says is in this day and age, that it's sort of ran with like local police and watch groups,
Mm-hmm.
but even
Yeah.
further, a takeaway that they said is an unofficial version where somebody's
Mm-hmm.
like, sort of a businessman or a lawyer that doesn't agree with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
wants to silence them or subdue them or, whatever, you know,
Mm-hmm.
will try to use some of those tactics. And the issue with it is the violation of privacy and speech. So, it's basically taking some of that old program and, doing it to a lesser extent, but, um, it's interesting stuff. And it says, if you scroll down, they're just talking about it
Right.
and some of the tactics. If you scroll down to the bottom, it talks about
Yeah,
that. But
yeah, yeah. Look, so let you want me to you look at the four main tactics they talk about, Kev. Infiltration, where their main purpose is to discredit and disrupt, not merely spy on political activists. Number
yep,
two, psychological warfare. The FBI and the police used dirty
Yep.
trick to undermine progressive movements. They planted false media stories. Oh my God. In the name of targeted groups, they forged correspondence. They sent anonymous letters. They made anonymous phone calls. Number three, harassment through the legal system. The FBI and the police abuse the legal system to harass dissidents and make them appear to be criminals. God damn, Kev. And the legal force. Last, the FBI conspired with local police departments to threaten dissidents and opponents and leaders of political movements to conduct illegal break-ins, to search their homes, commit vandalism, assaults, beatings, and assassinations. Kev, the object
Yes.
was to frighten or eliminate and disrupt their movements. Kev, this is fucking filthy, man.
Yeah. So I don't think
Kev,
that
this
this
is.
goes on in this day and age. I don't think it goes on, but this happened. But the point and the
I think it
takeaway
still goes
is
on. Yeah.
maybe to a lesser extent versus like,
No.
leaders like Cuba, right? They were trying to go after Fidel Castro, things like that. Maybe to a lesser extent, I think some of the same tactics were imitated unofficially by like a smaller private, investigator, private intelligence that try to use some of those same tactics. For instance, something that they did to Martin Luther King was they called his wife and said
Yeah.
said he was in a hotel room or something, and they tried to like get him in, into a situation where, he looked like he was being dishonest. So really, really dirty trick tactics that, are shocking. So
Unbelievable.
what this lawyer said on Rogan is, yes, some of those same things unofficially happen if somebody doesn't agree with somebody's point of view
Yep.
or their way in this day and age. And, you know,
I mean,
yeah, it's unbelievable.
I mean, Kev. Let me just quickly add. I mean, listen, you're right. It probably is happening by a private group, but that private group is paid, funded by the government. Because if you think about it, look what they did to Trump the first 4 years. Russia, Russia, Russia. They spied on his campaign. This all
So
came out. This
I
is still
think
going on,
that's
Kev. This is all
maybe
going
to a
on.
lesser an extent, but what you're saying, that's much larger. I don't think, no, I disagree with what I'm saying. There's also smaller version that is not part of that. That's just part of like a program that they're trying to replicate some of those dirty tactics. But, the point
Yeah, I mean,
is,
it's
some of
amazing.
this stuff was taken from, Stalin, from these other disinformation campaigns, and the own, our own, uh, government was doing it in the civil rights movement, and some of the stuff, could still be, replicated to a lesser extent, and I don't think it's bad, but,
I don't know. I think,
people use, basically what it is it's the organization, right? It's organization. So you're working with different organizations, from neighborhood watch groups, which is just ordinary people, to local sheriffs, and it's the organization.
okay.
Um, and all of that is good to keep checks. But right now we have an issue with our borders, where, you got things happening, and I think what the takeaway is, maybe like a reset, where new structure needs to be put in place, and that's what they are talking about. You have this new group by Musk. I want you to pull it up.
Mm-hmm.
Called Doge. Pull it up. DOGE.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 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 yeah. I heard about that. Yeah.
So
Yeah, what about it? Yeah.
what they want
Yeah.
to do is they want to reduce spending,
Yeah, I heard.
and they're
Yeah.
going to cut out all of the access from
Yeah.
EV credits and all this stuff, and some of it, even government programs. They might even cut out some of the bigger ones.
Yeah.
We'll see, but, this is good.
Yeah.
This is good. If you can
No,
reduce the
listen,
debt
Kev, this
to
is
2 trillion.
Kev, this is good. Kev, this is good if they just go after one area, which is the Pentagon. The Pentagon fails an audit. Never passed an audit for the last 30 years. So if they go after that, then I agree. But, honestly, this is not even a real official, this is not like a real cabinet position. It's not. And it ends in
No, no.
2026.
Yeah.
So it ends in 2026. So I mean, we'll see what comes out of this. But if they want to,
You
really
got two
attack this,
smart
and
people.
people,
You got two smart people leading it, though.
right? I get it, but they need to just go to the Pentagon, because let's be honest, the Pentagon is where Did you hear what the Pentagon kept? The Pentagon paid 150 grand for like a screw. Okay, you heard about that, right? For a screw, the Pentagon paid a supplier. I work in the Department of Energy. I'm not at that level, but I can only imagine by looking at the inflated receipts. I see, but $160,000, Kev, for a screw.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
they need to go
crazy.
after the Pentagon. I mean, this is what I'm saying. And I think if they do direct that, look, if he really wants to cut waste, he has to start there. I mean, and then that's what he can do. Look at this. Kev, look at this. Are you seeing the screen? The Pentagon fails a 7th consecutive audit. Okay, when you have a government, this is government efficiency. You have a government department that fails an audit. That's where you start, right? I mean, that's logical. You start there. So, I
Yep.
mean, I hope he goes there. 7th. What are they doing, Kev?
Yeah.
Executive audit? Like, come on, bro. Like the Pentagon. I mean, unbelievable. But that's what it is. But so, like I said, Kev, they'll have till 2 years. And like I said, you know what the good thing though? Musk is gonna post everything that he's doing on X. So now we all can see it. You know what I mean?
Transparency. Yeah. Transparency.
Transparent. Yeah, I like
That's
that.
what you
I like
need.
that.
And that's
I
why I
like
brought
that.
up that other thing was it was secretive. You need transparency. You need to open it up, let people see, and hopefully you get some of that.
Yeah. I mean,
Communication, right? Communication's everything.
yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
check out
I mean,
this last thing. I want to talk
mhm.
about. I want to talk about fear. The Bannister theory. Google it.
Okay. Let's see. The
So,
Bannister theory. Okay. The Roger Bannister effect. What is this, Kev? Talk about this.
so the Bannister theory is basically if you walk in a straight line on the street,
Mm-hmm.
you can do it very easily, right? If you put
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
same
Mm-hmm. Yep.
straight line 100 feet in the air,
Mm-hmm.
you're
Yeah.
gonna, it's not so easy now, and you're gonna, feel like you can't do it, and it's the same straight line. But the difference is that you're 100 feet up, so fear kicks in.
Oh, I see.
So there's no difference,
I
but
see.
it's the fear that actually makes you feel you can't do it. When you remove that fear, it's the same straight line. So
The
it's
4-minute
called
mile. Wow.
it's called the
Yeah.
Bannister theory. And
Yep.
yeah, so
Well, it's
we
about
talk
mind
about
over matter, pretty much, right? It's about
yep,
mind over
yep,
matter, right? Yeah.
yep,
Wow. Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
And that,
man.
and that mentality and trying to that changing that perspective, right? And
Yeah. And this guy was an English neurologist, Kev. So he studied this shit. Roger Bannister. Look at this. He studied it.
it was named after
That's
him.
what they made it. Did that? Yeah, it's named after him. Sir Roger Gilbert Bannister was an English neurologist and a middle
Yep.
distance athlete. Yep. Yep. Wow. So look at this. Look at this. He got all these titles, of the British Empire and all of that. Wow. Amazing. Yeah. Training theory. Wow. Mind. So, Kev, this is mind over matter, pretty much.
Yep.
Everything.
Changing your
Yeah.
perspective,
Oh
your
man, this is
mentality, goes a long way.
perspective.
I mean, the only difference is fear, perception, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's cool. Anyway, let's wrap it
All right.
up.
Yeah, Kevin. So before I let you go, this has been making the rounds. It's hilarious. So did you hear about the production? This happened like 2 days ago, right? So there was this professor, right, Alan Lichtman, who claimed that he got all these election predictions right, right? He's literally melting down. Which is, I got to show you this,
Yeah,
right? I
yeah,
gotta put it
yeah.
because
Let's
this is
play
just
it.
hilarious. Yeah, this is hilarious, Kev. This is like I couldn't like. Kev, he says, "Oh, because look, he can't even say like he thinks because you call this prediction model wrong, it's blasphemous." Think about the narcissist.
Okay, but brother, you got it wrong. You were
whatever you want.
preposterously and stupidly wrong.
So, okay, all right.
Look at
now
this, look at
you're
this.
stupid ever on
Look at
this.
this.
No, not if you're
Okay,
personally.
well,
I
you
admitted I was wrong. So
Hey,
just one
Alan,
right now.
shh.
Look at this.
Hey, Alan, you deserve a tall glass of shut up juice. So can you just shut up for a second and let someone who knows what they're doing?
You're so right, Peter. You're so right.
So
So
any
unified
point
right
you
now,
want.
I will not sit here and stand for personal attacks for blasphemy against me. You don't need to do
Look,
that.
blasphemy. Look at this.
Blasphemy against you? What the hell are you? Are you Jesus Christ, you loser?
Oh my gosh, guys! Somebody called.
Yeah. So look at the these fucking professors, Kev. I mean, he literally said, first of all, he got it wrong. And what happens when you take a position and you get it that wrong? You get held accountable, right?
Yeah.
You own it. You own it. And you got it flat ass wrong. And you know what he started to do? What he admitted he was wrong. You know what he did? Not to say like my models were wrong. No, he said the voters. He blamed the voters. He was shaming the voters, saying that he didn't realize they were this racist. And this other commentator, Cenk Uygur, who's a prominent commentator, has been around. So he's like the star. He started independent media with the Young Turks back in 08. We could talk about the next session, but he's a left-wing guy, right? You know, he's progressive. He's like, yo, dude. And he had this guy on the show. He's like, yo, dude, you're wrong. And he said, and then this professor goes, that's blasphemy. And he like everybody's giving him props, even though they don't really like this Cenk Uygur guy because of his politics. They're like, yo, he had to shut him up. The guy's imagine the arrogance to say it's blasphemy, calling out that his models are wrong. I mean, these people are melting down, and what it is that his reputation is in flames. He's getting ratioed, which he deserves. Like you said, he owns it. But Kev, he said blasphemy, Kev.
But he's getting clicks. Getting clicks. So maybe he's a marketing genius. He's getting it for the wrong reasons, but we're talking about him.
Yeah, he said blasphemy. Are you serious? Like, Kev, come on, man. At that point, that's why everybody's commenting on this, and they're like, yo, man, this is, everybody's commenting. They're like, yo, man, this is just a step too far. And Kev, I think and the other pollster, right, that came out the night before, right, they're all retiring. You know that, right? All these pollsters, their reputations are gone. Like you said, Kev, they took a position. They own it, right? They own it, right? Let me ask you a question before I let you go. Do you think it's well deserved? All these guys. Do you think like they should get they should get what's coming? Like they're getting ripped on Twitter and everything. They own it, right? People made decisions based on it.
Yeah, I think some of these guys that make hard stances. Yeah, you got to own it.
Right. But So just wanted to end with that.
A lot of them are biased, and they're using their political beliefs and trying to apply it.
So then if they're biased,
you should really
they should not be going out there.
Listen to what we said with Ray Dalio, independent and humble. Right? Same applies to that.
Right.
So.
Right. But you don't see Ray Dalio saying blasphemy if you call one of his models wrong.
But that's why he's saying.
He said blasphemy.
Yeah, but this guy's attached. He's attached to that model, so he's not independent.
But his model's wrong.
Yeah.
He knew wrong, literally wrong, and he has the nerve to say he called the British more racist. He said his model. That's the backstory. It is his model did not account for the level of racism. Like, are you kidding me?
It's crazy.
Like that's how delusional they are. They're burning. I mean, and he says blasphemy. But like I said, you'll never see someone like Ray Dalio or someone of that caliber. You know what I mean? If they're wrong, first of all, they're never wrong. But if they are wrong, they don't be screaming out blasphemy. Yeah, that type of stuff is I look at that, I'm like, you filthy mother, you know what I mean? You fucking, like it's disgusting, but that's where we are. But that's what happened. That's what happened. Anything else, man? That was it. That was the funniest thing.
Yeah. That's it. Let's wrap it up.
That's it. All right, Kev. Let me stop this right now. Hold on.